The San Jose Sharks are victorious. Yay! It's a temporary joy victory right now as the Sharks beat the Winnipeg Jets. We'll break it down, what this means for their draft lottery position and more. Come and celebrate. It's Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, March 6, 2023, and the San Jose Sharks are victorious in the beautiful province of Manitoba by a score of 3-2, and we welcome you to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every game, so if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or in the app. And of course, just a quick reminder for you to follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, TikTok, and find everything at tealtownusa.com. And of course, you want to support the pod, you can do so at tealtownusa on Venmo or in a super chat donation right here on YouTube. And with that, good evening to you. It is Puck Guy and Dana Meyerson. They're winning for you now when they know you're on the show. I mean, yes, I know everybody wants the Sharks to have the best chance at Connor Bedard, but
they have to win sometimes.
Exactly.
You know? Nobody goes 0-82, even if some of y'all in the comment section would have loved that for this season. I just feel like emotionally this win was really needed. It was nice to see the guys experience success and happiness.
Joy. Yeah.
Joy, God forbid. And it seemed like everybody was, excited about Eklund and some of the other, and, Knyzhov being back. I think there was just a lot to play for in this game. And I don't know, don't tell anybody, but I'm happy they won.
Yeah, they got to get one victory. I mean, they're not going to go 19 in a row without a loss. It was just a matter of time. Granted, the way they looked the last couple of games where, hey, you're up to nothing, yay, and then what happened? It was a tough one to take, and especially if you're yours truly in person at that game.
Oh yeah, when they scored first in the first period, I was terrified. Quaking in my boots.
Yes. Well, we'll get to the recap right now then. Stephen Lawrence made Dana quake in her boots with his 7th of the season. I did like how they're being tenacious after going after the loose puck. And it sets up for Lawrence. And I guess you can call him the triple L line. Lawrence, Labanc, and why am I blanking on the other one? Why am I blanking on oh boy, I am out of it today. But either way, 1-0 Sharks after 20. Reimer looked solid really early, Dana.
Oh, yeah. Well, throughout, really. I texted Puck Guy, Reimer knows the trade deadline already happened, right? He doesn't need to, you're not going anywhere, buddy. But it was nice to see him have a good game. It really was a throwback to last season.
And I was thinking about this, and it's like maybe he's taking an exception to not getting traded.
Well, I mean, his contract is up, and I think he's expressed interest in staying with the Sharks, but who knows? So, playing well as an individual player is never not advantageous, So, again, GMs can tank a team. The players do not.
Right. And thank you, Marty T. Lindblom. Yes, Lawrence, Lindblom, Labanc. Labanc gets an assist. I mean, that poor guy. I mean, I think it's been forever since he had an assist. I want to say January.
It's 10th. Been forever since he was a positive contributor to a game he played in. So
yeah, it's you're happy to see it. You're happy to see these guys kind of get something going. But then the second period happened, and boy, howdy, I think we both were kind of like gasping, like, oh boy, when is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And frickin', I totally forgot he was on the team until El Nino, I guess is what they're nicknaming him. Nino Niederreiter ties it up, after a penalty, had expired. And it just really, Dana, it just really bugged me that, that the Sharks were just getting every little stick fractured and called their way. And this happens right after Noah Gregor gets called for having a guy lose grip on his stick and it flies up in the air. But it could have been really bad after that.
Yeah, no, the things were simmering. Yes, especially with, our sunshiny boy Eklund out there, getting it. Welcome to the big leagues. Although the AHL is full of goons too. Yeah. No. Also, was it just me or was everybody breaking a stick at like one point?
They were like breaking sticks.
Never not a stick. Stick, puck, glove.
No, you're right. I even checked the temperature in Winnipeg and it was 0 Fahrenheit, and I was thinking, why is everything so bouncy tonight? Sticks flying, gloves, like you said. I mean, the puck was on edge. I think Lawrence had a chance for a 2-on-1, and the puck just kept bouncing on his stick. He couldn't get the chance away. It's like, come on, guys. Oh, and it's just tough to see. And either way, they keep it at just 1-1 after 40 minutes, mainly in part, as to the aforementioned James Reimer had some key saves shorthanded as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, the flipping around, kicking, he looked like really in it. And when he did allow the first goal, or was it the second goal? No, it was the first goal. Maybe it was the second goal. I don't know. You could see his frustration, batting the puck away. Like he was in it emotionally. Which I don't know. Again, like any passion I can see from this team will energize me in some way. Like David Quinn getting kicked out last game. I like to see it because it shows like I care.
Right.
I'm trying.
You show that you give a damn, that you want to succeed somehow, some way, in order to get this thing turned around. And yeah, it's too late for it to turn around, but it's at the same time, it's like, man, show some passion, show that you are just, for the most part, show that you're not tanking hard, and again, players don't tank hard, but general managers and front offices might not set it up properly for you. But third period comes, they go back and forth. There's a couple penalties here and there, and then right afterwards, Nate Schmidt, after Barabanov took a hooking call late in, with like 5 minutes to go, Nate Schmidt gets on there. He was healthy scratched recently for Winnipeg.
Nate Schmidt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he gets in there, and he's freaking left wide open. Everybody's watching the puck handler, and Schmidt's like right there. Is like, wow, guys, don't make it too obvious. But that made it 2-1, and I'm like, Dana, it's gonna, that's it. Ay.
I will say, I'm glad about how it all played out, but I was like, okay, all right, we'll leave off here, because like, just comparatively to the last few complete shellings, I'm like, okay, whatever, they gave it their all. They had some good moments. Reimer played well. And I would have been cool with that, but spoiler alert, my favorite player took it to OT. So that's when I was like, okay, now they better win, because I am not going on After Dark for another OT loss.
Right. And thank goodness for Tomas Hertl, who fires the puck home back-to-back games with a goal. So Tomas Hertl feeling it. Maybe the exuberance from William Eklund being out there, but he ties it up 2-2. Loved to see Hertl and Eklund and Karlsson together in overtime.
Yes. Mwah. Chef's kiss. I was trying to say.
Easy for you to say. But, I mean, they set it up, and then, change happens, turnover, Karlsson feeds Couture. He skates in, and, he's usually pretty money on those breakaways in overtime. Gets to OT winner. Sharks pick up 2 points. But here's the good news, folks. Chicago's also winning right now. It's 4-0 Chicago against Ottawa. So it's not the end of the world if Chicago beats the Senators. So, I mean, yes, you could have been 32nd right then and there, but the Sharks get their 19th win of the season. Overall thoughts on this one?
I think the Sharks play well when Eklund's on the line, with the exception of last game. I don't know. I think a lot of the guys are really excited for him and probably wanted him to have been on the team last year, just kind of based on the responses to him being sent down and eventually going back to Sweden. So, I can see that he's a guy that, brings brings motivation that some of the established Sharks players might not have, having being in the situation they're in, the team being where it is. And I loved seeing the guys try and, they were passing just a little bit extra to him. He's got some assists, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he has an NHL goal yet.
Not yet. So he had an assist. He had the assist in Washington. Yes. It'll happen tomorrow.
Yeah, he had an assist in Washington. He had a whole bunch of assists in the 9 games he played last season. Yep. But it's nice to see, and it's really giving me solace in this whole Timo's gone, page turned situation. And seeing Hertl's emotion when he did score that, it took me back to the days when Sharks goals mattered.
Right.
And how that felt when, Hertl would come in clutch, Couture would come in clutch, they still have it in them somewhere. Even if the team is what it is. So it was nice to watch. I'm not going to lie. I do hope the Sharks lose from mostly here on out, but like I said, you got to win something,
right.
Nobody is and if they're going to win, I'm glad it was, an emphatic win against a team that really needs those points. Winnipeg is pretty safely in a playoff spot, but you never know. And, no one wants to get too comfy in the second wild card spot. So, they probably really, really wanted that extra point. And the fact that the Sharks took it from them, albeit from kind of a Winnipeg F up, I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, it does help them with the 1 point. Winnipeg is currently at number 3 in the Central Division, so they're at 75 points. But it's tight because the number 2 wild card is Colorado at 74. So, it's a tight race between them, although it's starting to begin to have some separation between the last spot in wild card to the teams trailing. I mean, Nashville's at 68, Calgary 67, and then you have St. Louis at 59. So you're starting to see where everything's going to shape up in.
Yeah. Well, they need the points more than San Jose does.
That's true.
It's not points.
That's true.
They're playing for something.
Yes. Sharks, with 64 games played, sit at 50 points. They have 19 wins. Fewest in the fewest in the league. Now I quickly go through it at 19 wins. So they are second to last in the West, and I believe second to last in the division. So we'll see on how that goes down the road. Big one thing we haven't mentioned yet. I think it's been almost like 663 days since Nikolai Knyzhov returned.
Yeah.
And he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Uh,
Hopefully he did. There's sort of a curse when you're Karlsson's D partner that, he pumps up your stats and then you get shipped off at the trade deadline.
right.
I hope that, like, can we please give Karlsson a defense partner who's like locked down, like at least for a little bit, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, there are times when I forgot Knyzhov was on the team, or I wondered if he would ever come back, because missing play time for that long with such a severe injury, like, it's totally understandable that someone would kind of fall out of step, and some guys can just never get it back. And at least, he's on a team like the Sharks where it's like, we need all the help we can get, there's
right.
no competing for a roster spot. So yeah, no, good to see him back. And I really hope that, that he can be, consistently in the lineup next season and bring back some respectability to our defensive game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he had some nice breakups, nice defensive play all around, which is nice to see because, boy, howdy, this team needs some defense help. So good to see him get back in there nearly practically 2 years since, if not more, since he last played an NHL game. But Dana's on, folks. So we have one thing and one thing only we need to ask. Let's talk about the Post-it notes. What you got for us?
All right. So we were at 52 last game. I only have 3 tonight.
Oh, boy.
So that's 55. So 15 away from 70. So my estimation at the start of the season wasn't too bad about kind of where it would fall, about 70. So we'll see. We'll see. So firstly, I saw Eklund throw a hit and I was just like, yes, now we're talking. And maybe not, he didn't, throw a hit the way that, like, a fully developed, like, NHL player would, but he's getting there, he's throwing baby hits. And though that made me happy because I don't want him to be, like a little baby pushover. Although I'm always going to think of him as a little baby, especially when he hurt his lip. And the camera just kept going back to him like, oh, did we mention that Eklund hurt his lip? Oh, he's good. I don't know, y'all. That was cute. Yeah, I wrote Knyzhov looks good, word for word. So I spell Niederreiter differently every time I write it on a Post-it. I've just given up, and it's become a joke to me at this point.
Not gonna lie, I usually have to check 2 or 3 times whenever he scores on the Sharks. So you're all good.
Which is like any minute, I gotta check. Oh, wake up in the middle of the night. Did Niederreiter score again on the Sharks? Saves. I was just having a lot of fun watching the game, honestly. Not a lot of stuff to write down. Okay, on the goal from Schmidt, nobody was there to stop him. That was the only goal that made me actually pissed at the Sharks, because that was one where they could have supported Reimer a lot more. Yeah. And as often is the case, Ferraro's just kind of standing there next to the net, not really anticipating anything, or sorry, I hate to dunk on Mario. It has not been his season, but a lot of those goals where just nobody is covering someone they definitely should be covering, it's often him. So maybe that's something for him to work on.
Right.
And yeah, just Couture,
yes. So we're at the 55 Post-it notes, folks. So those betting on Sports Interaction with that, go right ahead. But yeah, hashtag no free ads. All right, so let's get to some of the comments in the locker room. Quickly before that, though, yes, Kevin, thank you. Sharks are only team without 20 wins, Buckeye. Yes, or 10 wins at home. Oh, dear Lord. And if they really wanted that extra point, they should have started Hellebuck. That's their own fault. Yep.
Well, don't they have a back-to-back?
The Sharks do. I don't know.
Oh, I thought that.
I haven't looked at the Jets' schedule yet, so it could be. The Sharks do play tomorrow night in Colorado because, go all the way up to Winnipeg, then go back west to Colorado, then go back east to St. Louis to come back home to play Minnesota.
Okay. Also, you are correct. The Jets do not have a back-to-back. I don't know how I got that in my head.
So they were just
you know what? Their
the
fault
Sharks.
for they're probably just resting Hellebuck guys. I wouldn't have played Hellebuck either if I were the Jets.
They just wanted to hella suck. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here. There'll be times a few years down the road when Eklund's throwing those hits, and he's going to say this just like Randy.
Better not F with me.
Damn right, Randy. Better not F with me. That's what I'm saying. So let's get to the post-game comments, courtesy of AJ. Thank you so much. From Knyzhov, it was fun, a lot of excitement, and so nice to get a win. It felt great. Blessed to be here and to play hockey again. The win is a cherry on top. Thanks to the coaches and the whole organization for their patience with me. Wow. Nice kudos. And, in this business, Dana, it's one bad injury and they could just drop you like a bad habit.
Yeah, I know people came at me the other day about empathizing with NHL players, God forbid. But it is hard. You never know when your career could be over.
Right.
That's not something most of us have to worry about.
Yeah, and it sucks, and that's kind of the bit of business. And I was kind of with you on being empathetic with players because, especially with trades. I look at Nemestikov, who played against his former teammate, the Sharks.
I'm sorry, Sharks great.
Yes, Sharks legend.
Nemestikov, what an emotional return.
Right. You go literally. Poor guy went from Tampa. I doubt he even made it to San Jose.
He never actually flew to San Jose, though.
Right. But still, to go from Tampa to Winnipeg, you're not packing shorts for right now. No disrespect to.
And don't bother bringing your tech because there won't be Wi-Fi.
Oh, God. It's nearly 10 years since that came out.
Never
and it's still,
forget.
It never
I
forget.
will never forget.
Knyzhov continued on and saying, I thought I did well. Obviously, I have details to work on, but for my first game, we did well with 5D on the back end. It was a good team effort from everyone. Yeah, that's the other thing. Jacob McDonald took a shot from Brendan Dillon. How dare you? And did not return after the game. I think after his penalty, for that matter, early in the first period. So I believe, let me see, let's scroll down to what I have here. McDonald is being evaluated. Labanc didn't play in the back half of the game because of the way the game dictated, which is interesting to hear from David Quinn. He also went in and said Labanc's last shift was 11:39 to go in the third period. He wasn't injured. Quote, just the way the game was evolving with the penalties and whatnot. Kevin Labanc had an assist tonight, folks, and only played 5:31. The rest of the game, I believe Barabanov was on that line as well, double shifting here and there. But everybody else on the team, when you're down one defenseman, Couture played 23:40. Hertl played nearly 20 minutes. The next closest one who played fewer, or who played slightly more than Labanc, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing Noah Gregor at 11:06, Lawrence at 11:42, Sveshnikov 11:33. So twice as many times. That's a telltale sign. And to me, Dina, I think it is a waste that they're doing this. Like, find a home for him. You should have traded him to get him off the roster. It's just a disservice that you're just putting one guy out there, 531, and it just seems like you're wasting time, wasting the career of Labanc in my mind.
I mean, the best time to trade Labanc was like 3 years ago, but the second best time is soon. I don't know. Maybe have some conversations at the draft. I don't know. Greer has made it seem like, with his whole I'm saving the one, what is it? The retention spot just in case, clearly things will be happening on the trade floor. So, maybe I just feel like if they were going to trade him, they would have. They have had so many times when they could have traded him. And if it is like a situation where he just winds up in every coach's doghouse, what's going on there?
Yeah. I mean, you're down one player already, and then you're going to bench another. And I mean, it's a little sus. Let's just say,
I don't buy that not a single team wants him, even for like a pick.
Yeah. And Kevin, not Kevin Lacey, feels like we are doing with Labanc is what the Canucks did to Bruce Boudreau.
I mean, we don't have his replacement decided and everybody knows and it's being talked about on national television, but I mean, he doesn't, especially with him taking that pay cut a couple years back. Well, I mean, thinking back to people's reactions to that contract being signed, for so long, I feel like he was propelled in his career by this he's at this level now, but just you wait, because he has so much potential. And so I think people did see it as a pay cut, he's going to be making a few million any day now, and that just isn't how it panned out. But I just don't understand why, if this team has had no plans for him, no place for him for years.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's been talked before with us. It's been on with AJ and Jerk on Pucknologist. It's like, okay, if he's having this problem with DeBoer and Buchner and now Quinn, move him along. Why are you holding on to him? You can't tell me you're not going to do anything with it. And AJ, bringing up a point. If you're only playing the guy for 5 minutes, call up boards for F's sakes. I mean, granted, he's got one more year after this, so not necessarily great to buy him out. But I mean, at this point, do you just cut your losses just like you did with Merkley? I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you know what? They were decisive with Merkley, and I think they were correct. I mean, time will tell, but even if Merkley does turn into a superstar, I still think it was the right choice, because if, it's rare for a team and a player to be able to come back to one another and it's I don't know any particular drama or whatever. I don't, when I say how do you wind up in the coach's doghouses? It just the what's it called? The time on ice and him being benched in so many games under so many coaches, that just tells the story, what is going on here. And because it's you can do that now, but it just should have been years ago. It should have been years ago. He's like a ghost.
Yeah, and Casper wants to be seen. I mean, let's be honest here. Rob Iman with a $5 super chat donation. Labanc may be best off buried with the Kuhre until the offseason and buy him out afterwards. Again, with 1 year to go after this season, last thing you want to do is have more money just going away to Sharks that aren't here. I mean,
We may or may not have a pretty significant buyout in the next few years.
I mean, could be
Maybe multiple.
I mean, we're still getting out of what Jones is, and that big massive contract that Rudolph Balcers had. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, like why, dude? Why?
Is he still in Florida?
He's either with Florida, Tampa, then he goes back to Syracuse. Maybe he's with Charlotte in the AHL. Who knows? But it's like, really,
Never
come on
had
now.
to buy him out.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Tons of teams would have traded for him.
it could have been more depth for the Kuhre, for that matter. I'm just saying. Kind of going through some more of the stuff in the chat. AJ, if Kuhre could probably a third for Labanc, it would be the best move he ever made.
No one's giving us a third.
We wish. Or Caleb
Labanc was a sixth. So at best, they're giving us a sixth or a seventh.
And Caleb was kind of around with you in there. I think you can package Labanc in a fifth for another, not worth their contract player. It's tough to see. Burge F7 F91. Labanc got his contract on the coattails of his Game 7 performance against Vegas. Did somebody say Game 7? I mean, yes, totally. And that was an unreal night, for sure. But I don't know. A mid-level pick would be nice. Hopefully they can, when those GMs get together in one covered sheet of ice in Nashville in late June, maybe something can happen there. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what goes on. I mean, I would be fine getting a fourth or fifth, like you said, Dana. I think it'd be really.
I said a sixth or a seventh.
Or a sixth or seventh?
Well, I mean, we'll take what we can get, but I think as Sharks fans, we have overvalued him for years.
Yeah.
Because look, he had that. He has those moments. He sometimes a big moment can really propel a guy like Goodrow.
No, totally.
No kidding. He has made quite the career for himself.
I
remember 2 days before Game 7 when I was like, get this guy off the team. He just took a penalty in double OT. What are you doing? Galaxy braining it.
Yeah. I mean, the tough part to me is just, just scratching him and benching him this whole time doesn't help the value.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that kind of puts a bow on this one. Sharks win? Sharks win? Yeah, it's been a while.
How do you say that word? Can someone help me? It's like a
in. Okay, yeah, that
win?
works. And what's the reward tomorrow? They get to play the defending Stanley Cup champions. Oh, that ought to be fun. At least Landeskog isn't in there, but you got the likes of Cale McCarr, Nathan McKinnon, Arturi Lehkonen, Rantanen. Yeah, I mean, oh boy, it should be an interesting one. I would assume Kakinen gets the start for that one.
Yeah, all y'all complaining about the Sharks winning this game, don't you worry. I'm sure you'll be thrilled with tomorrow.
We'll be back to our normal this team. But yeah, hey, like we said, 19 games left. They're not going to lose them all. It'd be a shock if they did. So enjoy the victory, a nice classic victory. You had Hertl tying it up, Couture with the game-winning goal, Erik Karlsson with 2 assists tonight. He's at 80 on the campaign. So I think he had his 18th multi-point game of the season. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, I know we're going long here, but if I can go on a quick rant, I get it that Karlsson having a great season and likely winning the Norris, that doesn't help our team as a whole. But it was so freaking annoying the last few years hearing everybody talk about how he's washed. Oh my God, what are they going to do with that contract? Worst contract in the league. He's a shell of his former self. And at least we proved them wrong. We're not going to have to listen to that same, tape on repeat. during when nobody has anything to talk about during the off season. So like at least this season gave us that.
You have that bright spot in there, yes. Now come the last game of the season. All right, where does Erik Karlsson go in a trade this season?
But if we can trade the contract, like that is so much better than where people thought we would be, Like that contract was thought of as the most untradeable contract in the whole league.
Oh, sure.
And now his name has legitimately been in trade conversation. I still don't think he's actually going to be moved, but
to me, I say if they win the lottery, you keep him, because I think I said it the other night, it would be nice to have a nice flip pass from Erik Karlsson to Bedard, and Bedard feeds Bordeleau for the goal. I mean, you would love to see it. But if not, see what you can get. See what's out there. And
I agree. I still think, like, in the end, being able to trade him is better than having him be terrible and hold on to the contract forever and ever.
True. I completely agree. So, with that being said, let's get on out of here. In case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out here on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple or Google Podcasts, of course, on SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Odyssey. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead right now. Just hit that like button. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button. And of course, hit that notification bell. That'll notify you when we do go on the air after each game, like this one where you can celebrate, or tomorrow where you'll be tormenting yourself because the Sharks lost. Not that we're predicting that, but and of course, leave a comment down below as to are you thrilled to see Tomas Hertl get back-to-back games with a goal, Couture getting a breakaway, Erik Karlsson hitting 80 points. What did you think of William Eklund? Leave your comments down below if you're watching us on the replay. So with that, Dana, thank you as always. Really appreciate it. They're on a winning streak for you. It's better than early in the season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So that's a good thing. So
that's what she said. I'm beating AJ to the punch, okay?
Damn it. I walked right into that, didn't I? Oh, boy. All righty. As she turns bright red, folks, as she said that. All right. Well, I would almost say this. Is that your final thought, or did you have another one?
Sure. Why not? You can find me at Dana Meyy on Twitter and Instagram. And more importantly, you can follow my cat on Instagram, Margie_the_Queen. She follows back.
Yes, she does follow back.
I don't promise anything for myself, but my cat follows back. I taught her well.
And that poor cat, before we went on, was clawing at you. She needs to bring it down a little bit, all right? Otherwise, she's going to get in misconduct.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. She, I would fear for even the toughest NHLer. Even Chara couldn't handle this cat. Like, I have a gash on the side of my back from when she jumped on me yesterday. She just gets a lot of energy, and she doesn't know how to channel it.
So she claws your back. All right. So Dana with an upper body injury is day to day. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Yes, Tuesday, where the Sharks take on the Colorado Avalanche. They're probably, hopefully, jumping on the plane right now to get back out to the West of sorts. Game time for that is 6 p.m. So we'll be back with you then. And thank you for watching. Chris JBWS, good to see you, party people. I hope you're partying tonight wherever you're at. Sharks win in overtime in Winnipeg, 3-2. We'll see you tomorrow following Sharks and Avalanche. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you Tuesday night.